Hello, welcome back everyone. So you have seen in the previous video that what is SQLite database, how it works, what are the benefits of using it, high level architecture of the database system, and also where it in mostly it is used, like the features which has been relevant to the relational model, right? So here you can see that yes, you can go through the overview, the website. You will have to go to the sqlite.org/index.html. So this is basically the homepage of SQLite. So you go there, you will know that it has been developed the C language. If you know about more these things like the ACID, the features, the self-contained serverless, zero configuration, transactional. These are all the things we have already discussed in the previous video. So now you can again read to them. If you want to know more about the architecture and the features, there you have the documentation. And the most important one for now is the download page, right, where you are going to download it. And so you know that this one is a open source software, right? So the source is open and it has been developed with the C language, C programming. So if you want to download the source code and compile it by yourself, you can do it over there. The documentation is also there, but we need the precompiled binary versions, right? So that we can run them directly. We don't have to compile them from the source code. So you'll go, if you are using Linux machine, you will go with the precompiled binaries for Linux. You can go with the precompiled binaries for the Windows. If you have a Windows machine, they have both for the 32-bit and the 64-bit. And now for my case, I'm using Mac here. So I am gonna download the precompiled binaries for the Mac OS X 10. So let's go with that. Actually, I have downloaded it. So when you download this zip file, you see this is very small size, like 3.55 megabyte only. So if you download it, you will see that this folder will come. You see. Actually not this database, I have included it for the demonstration purpose. You will find these three files: SQLdiff, SQLite 3, and SQLite 3 analyzer. So what you have to do, you have to run it, and when you run it, you will this one, yeah, it will, if you have to run it through the terminal, and you will be able to see that SQLite prompt is there, right? And I think initially there is no databases inside, so you see only the main null is showing, nothing is there. So if now I want to open a database, which as you can see over here, the chinook.db. So this is the database I want to open, right? So I can write the command .open chinook.db. It's now been opened, because if I now write databases, you can see the main, it was null before, now it has been loaded with Chinook. So command line is sometimes handy, like if you in the Linux or like the Mac command line prompt, and you want to know all the commands to see. So as you can see, you have commands for archive, backup, bail, changes, clone, database, dumping, index, session. So these are basically one the features which comes with this SQLite database. But you know what? It's not a very good option for your development, because if you want to develop a website or another application, it is always handy to have a SQL or relational model client software. It more acts like a server and client, but the thing is, it will give you the flexibility of designing visually. You can see it, just like many people have used before or talked about MS Access. So it is something like that, where you can see all the tables. It is really similar to the ER diagram. You have one-to-one, many-to-many relationships, and you can see the overall database architecture, right? The schema, we say that. Alongside with the constraints, you can also write them and write the queries visually. So I prefer you should be using some database clients. So let me show you some. As you can see, one of them is very famous, which is Super Blocks. super blocks, they have some options with connecting databases and working with that. Then I have used DB Visualizer, which is another very good database client with the highest user satisfaction. It is a good one. Then we have dbeaver. dbeaver, which is one tool for all data sources. You can you see how many database sources it can connect to, like MongoDB, Oracle. MongoDB is not, it's a document based database, not relational model. So Oracle is there. You have SQL Server, MySQL, Postgres, so DB2, so you can connect with them. And also like even NoSQL databases they also cover, right? So this is another one. It has both free open source and paid commercial version, but I personally use DataGrip Grip from JetBrains. It is one of the my most favorite tools for database design. Cross-platform tool for relational and NoSQL. It can also take care of the relational and non-relational databases. So I have installed it. Let me. So all you have to do, you have to just download it, and you will have versions again for Linux, Windows, or Mac, whatever you have. So when you install it, go download it and install following the instruction procedure for your operating system. You will be able to see DataGrip. Let me turn it on for you. Here you go. So as you have seen that you can actually attach any database with that. So for my case, I am gonna open the Chinook database, what you have seen in the command line. You remember? Let me find that one again for you. So this is the database Chinook, which is part of our work here. Let me terminate this one and open that. So I'm gonna add the data source, right? And it is SQLite. So you see how many different kind of data sources you can eat if you're using MySQL, MongoDB, MariaDB. So we are not doing MongoDB for now. Probably we will try Postgres later. So let's look at the SQLite database. So we need to find the file. We have this one, Chinook.db. We're going to open it. Fine. Okay. So database is loading. As you can see, it has been loaded. So we have the server objects. So in this database file, and we have main. So main has 14 tables, right? So let me show you the tables. Where are they coming from? Yes. So now you can see in the screen the database, right? So this is the database where it is more similar to the ER diagram, but not necessarily the ER diagram. But you can see, for example, albums table, right? So you have albums table where you have album ID, integer, title, which is a varchar. Then you have artist ID, and album ID is the primary key. So let's look at the tables right now, how they looks like in the database. So the artist table we have seen, right? So these are the data, as you can see. Let me make it a little bit wider. So the artist ID and name, varchar, you have seen, right? So an artist ID is the primary key. So artist name, say artist ID 15, the body guy is there. Same way you can see the keys, artist ID, columns, what are the columns available. Same way you can look at like any database, say for example employees, these are the employees database. Right, so now let's see how we can write what were the what were the command which actually helped to write this create table, the data description language, right? So if you click on the DDL when clicking on employee, you'll be able to see that it has been created by create table employee ID integer not null, primary key auto increment, last name first name title reports to, which is also an integer, it's a foreign key, references employees, so email, create index, employees reports to on employees. So these are basically the create table commands or definition language. Same goes with artist. As you can see, like artist, when we had that artist album ID, album ID title, artist ID is like employees, employee ID. So we have all these things over here, right? And that's basically the data definition language. So now let's run some queries and see. All right, so let's see how we are gonna run some queries. So for example, this is employee table, right? And now if I want to use a query to say find the title IT manager, right? So let's go to the console. We have to write the queries here, and we are writing select. In the employees table you have employee ID, last name first name, okay. Select employee ID, last name first name from employees where we are trying to find IT manager, right? Title is IT manager, where title employees dot title is IT manager. Now let's run this query. Okay, there is an error. Okay, so we made a mistake. Customers, it should be employees. Somehow we call in customers table. You see there is a customers table. I think they also have the same thing. Yes, right. So we picked up employee ID, last name first name, employee ID, last name first name, Mitchell, Michael. So you see 6, Mitchell and Michael is the IT manager console. So same way for artist, like for example, if you want to find, if you want to write select all from artists, it will just give you all of them, right? So select all from artist. If you give a where clause where artist ID is equal to say 15. So 15 artist ID is the body guy. Let's check. So you see number 15 artist ID is the body guy. So this is how you can run all the queries, look at the diagram, and you can also see the query outputs over here and how much time each query is taking to give you answers. Another cool thing I wanted to show you with this tool, DataGrip, is that, so you remember the database diagram we've seen before over here. So we have all the tables and the attributes primary keys relationships. So this is the thing, you can also visualize it through this tool. You have to go, like, you have to click the database, you have to show the diagram, show diagram. You'll see the smaller version, but if you zoom it, yes, you see albums, title, album ID, artist ID, you have employees, last name, first name, title, who reports to, the keys and connections. So you see, like, you can move them around based on your preference. So as you see, like, these are very, very, very handy tools. So yeah, you can use them so you can use JDBC again to connect them from your source code or PHP to this database, say this Chinook.db, and you can get the data through the query. So whatever query you are writing, you can write the same query in your application, and it's gonna fetch the data from this database and populate there in your client. So this is the very introductory idea about how to install the SQLite and use it from the command line. And if you use the client systems like this, that's the best thing you can do for your development purposes. And I have demonstrated that through this DataGrip tool. There are like tons of, like, 90% of the functionalities I have not shown here, but as you start using them, they have excellent help file. You can go through them and you can learn, like, how different services and tools can be useful for your development purposes. So that's all for now. Thank you very much. We will come up with new tutorials and videos next time. So subscribe and like. Thank you.